I got Remy in the car. I gotta go get some chicken for the dogs. I'm gonna run in Home Depot, get some liquid nails to caulk up some molding. I did plenty of sessions with Bowser this morning. I'm tired, so I'm taking a break and getting away from the dogs right now. That's it, you know. Sometimes I gotta get away from dogs, see human beings. I did a lot of training with Bowser today because I want to take my mind off of, I contacted my dad's wife. My dad passed away a few years ago. And then somebody else is, answering the text message saying I'm Diane, I'm checking, I'm, doing emails and stuff for Susan. This wasn't good. I knew something was up, and evidently she has a brain tumor. And it just, I don't know. It's just like, our whole lives, like, it's difficult. It's difficult. Life on this planet is difficult. I was talking to my friend the other day about this. Like, we were talking about, like, well, would it be easier if it was 300 years ago? And I think the general consensus that we came up with was like, probably not. It would just be different. Life is difficult, it seems like you live your whole life sort of struggling. At least I have, life's just so hard, and then like you just die in the end, It's fucked up, and you could look at other people and say, well, they got it easier or something. Like my friend, I talk about her, Jinian, right? Like, she's got money, but I by no means think that Jinian's life is easy or she's got it made because she has money. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, that alleviates the problem, the stress of not having money, but she still has stress and shit she has to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, she it's not easy no matter who you are. Maybe if you live your life like Donald Trump, if you're narcissistic and everything that you do and it all centers around you, maybe I would imagine life is a lot easier because, do you know what I'm saying? He's got money, but he's got issues, but it really doesn't matter because as long as he's the center of attention, he's happy with it, Jinian doesn't have the kind of money that Trump has. And even if she did, she's not a narcissist. So there's always going to be things that are going to bother her. Money is not going to buy happiness. It just doesn't. Unless you're Trump. And then I look at Trump and I think, well, he's just obsessed with money. Like, how much money do you really need? It's like sport to these guys, like Putin. It's a fucking sport. What do you need $250 billion for? And why do you have to remain in power? Why don't you let somebody else do it and take a break? That's ego. Those are fucked up people with a fucked up ego. And I guess for somebody like that, life is great. I don't know if life was always great for Vladimir. I'm sure it was. I don't know. I don't really, he could be narcissistic too. He's a killer, so, it's just, life's rough, Everybody, anybody that sees this, this, like, life is not easy. It doesn't, I don't care who you are, it's not good. And then, in the end, we find out that we have a terminal illness. I think one of the best ways to go would be like not even see it coming, I don't even see it coming, and then all of a sudden I'm dead. I was telling Jinian, about this. I think about death a lot, and I think about, like, you know, what am I gonna do if I go to the doctor and they give me the, like, bad news? I'll have a panic attack, surely. Me? Yeah, you're damn right. I'll have a panic attack. I'll be saying to the doctor, I need a Valium right now. You know? I mean, even if you're a person that, like, is morose and is always like, I'd be better off not on the planet. If somebody told you had a terminal illness, you would be like, fuck, this sucks. You would either you'd probably want to fight it. Although, I think about this guy that we went hunting with as a kid, John Newhouse. He got cancer, and then he just decided not to treat it. And I was asking my dad, my dad was terrified of death. This is true. And I said, well, why isn't John Newhouse going to the doctor? And he said, Peter, he's just tired. You know, he's just tired. That's how, you know, I was a kid then. And I get it now as I'm older. Like, I get it. Like, you get real tired and then you just, like, give up. You know, metaphorically and, you know, for real. Like, if you're laying in bed and you're dying, you stop fighting and you die. So Susan's in hospice now and shit. It's like, I don't know. It's just, I didn't expect to hear it. I thought everything was fine. You know, it sucks. It does. It sucks. It just doesn't, I don't know. So I'm sort of in this funk, but working with the dogs, I'm sort of concentrating on the dogs. I'm also going to go to Home Depot and get some wood so I can just stay busy. I'm already a fucking morbid dude. I think about my life. I think about death constantly. I always have. I've always been like this. And then something like this, it's like I'm talking to Diane. You know, I sort of kept it together, but it's you know, it just sucks. It's like, tell you one thing, I was talking to Jinian about this today. It's like, both her parents are alive. You know, they're old, they're doing good. Losing your parents if you haven't lost your parents yet, get ready, because you're probably going to outlive your parents. And when you lose your parents, no matter what kind of relationship you had with them, it will be extremely difficult. It's almost at the beginning like it's surreal. Like, I can't tell you how weird it was not to call my dad, you know? It's like, I can't call him. He's not here anymore. If it happens to you, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's like, a friend of mine, she lost her dad sort of about the same time, like right after I lost my dad, and she was saying the same thing. Surreal, that's the term she brought up. It was like, it's like surreal, like I can't even, you know? All right, I'm sorry. I'll stop talking about this shit. Let's go to home. I gotta get gas. Speaking of death, if you're getting a puppy and you're gonna drive it home and you want to let the dog out to go to the bathroom, do not let it out at some place like this. I'm at Dandy getting gas. I just saw some guy walking a schnauzer over here, but it was an adult, but it's a dog. This is like a place where people let dogs out. This is a place where somebody that's driving home with a puppy with parvo might let the puppy out. Stay away from this. Stay away from rest stops. Stay away from, don't take your puppy in a dog run. Don't take your puppy to the park. Stay away from any area that you know dogs might be. Limit its exposure, its possible exposure to something like that. I hope that makes sense. Parvo will wipe your dog out, seriously. One thing's for sure in life, and that's that things can get bad. And to quote somebody in Kansas City, when things were bad for me, I said something like, well, they couldn't get any worse. And she said that this was somebody that did healing, and I was talking to her on the phone, and I don't really believe in any of that, like Reiki or anything, but she said something that was really wise. She said, no, Peter, they can get very worse. They can get a lot worse. And that's true. But if you think things are real bad, you can look around and you can see people that have it a lot worse off than you. That's just a fact. Monetarily, there's people that have less resources than me. It's just a fact. You know, there's people that, like, physically, like, you know, I got a bad hip and everything, and I'm getting old and starting to fall apart, but, you know, there's people that, you know, never even had a hip from the time that they were born. So there's always somebody that's worse off than you. You know, I'm not saying this to, like, try and make myself feel better or anybody else feel better. I'm just stating a fact that you might think that it's real bad, but it might not be as bad as you think it is. It's like everybody has this perception of life. Like, do you understand? Like, depression will change your perception of how things really are. Like, you could look around. You can look around and you can see people that have it worse off than you that are totally sort of happy, you know? They might not have the IQ level of a normal person. They might be, you know, have physical disabilities and stuff. Life, I've said this before, it's like most of life to me seems like it's downs. It is. But then it's like there's the highs that, you know, make life worthwhile. You understand what I'm saying? Like, life really is. It's not, if you're young and you're thinking like life is going to be all roses and everything, it's probably not going to be. But there are highs in life that sort of make it worthwhile, and life is difficult. The only option we have is shitty. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, life sucks, but it's better than the other thing, you know? I had somebody, a guy and a woman, like an older couple, meaning older than me, walking up my steps last Sunday. I was like, right away, I was like, oh, what is this, religion? I'm not really interested, you know, something like that. But I was actually polite to them. Fran and Joe, something like that. I talked to them. She wanted to give me this little booklet or something. She said everything in here, some kind of like song or something, will tell you everything you need to get to heaven, you know. And I was like, well, I don't believe in heaven, so thanks anyway. I was working, man. I'm working on my house. I'm training a dog. Last thing I want to do is spend time praying to a God that, like, it's arrogant. I think anybody that says, like, oh, I know God exists or whatever. You don't know God exists. Your faith might tell you that God exists. That doesn't mean that it exists. So I can't see myself going to church. That reminds me of a story my friend Caine told me the other day. She's telling me, because I have a brother that's a minister, like me, you know. We went to church when we were real young, but we were not a church-going family, that's for sure. That ended. I think my dad didn't want to go, and then we just stopped going. But Virginia told me that she was the first one in her family to stop going to church, and then everybody quit. They were like, the kid doesn't want to go, our kid doesn't want to go, that's a good enough reason for us not to go. The reason why we started talking about it was, like, her sister's religious and married a minister. They go to church and shit. And Jinian is like me. She couldn't see, like, wasting her time doing that shit. She, you know, like when she was a kid, she was thinking that too. Like, so her family's not particularly but her sister is, my brother is. I just cannot see wasting my time going to church. If there is a God, why would they care about us praying to it or whatever? They wouldn't. And if there is a God, this is from my brother, the minister. He said, if there is a God, the God doesn't care on a day-to-day basis what we do on this planet. He's probably right. He's probably right. I think in turn I said something like, well, maybe it's like aliens or something, And then my brother said something that, like maybe God is like an alien or something. He goes, well, you might be right. You're probably not far off from the kind of stuff that I think about. So he might be a minister in the United Church of Christ. He's also a gay minister, in the United Church of Christ. So he's extremely liberal. He's way more liberal than me, My brother would have never voted for Trump, and neither would I, but I will and have voted GOP, but I just don't think I will again after this debacle. I'm so disappointed in the Republican Party. You got to be kidding me. Backing that guy up, it smells real bad. It smells real bad. His administration, his family in the White House and everything. I don't understand how anybody could be supporting that man. And I don't understand how these religious people could be supporting that man. Why? Because he's pro-abortion? You think Donald Trump? That's another thing, those things that he had people sign, the non-disclosure agreements, there's this clause in there about paternity. So you think that Donald Trump wouldn't pay to have an abortion? 8 people supposedly have come out. 8 people are talking to Stormy's lawyer. They all signed the same non-disclosure agreement. That is going to be the downfall of Donald Trump if the evangelicals find out that Donald Trump has paid for abortions. That's a different ball of wax. They will leave him. His base will leave him. He lies. He does. He lies. You think it's not possible that he's paid for an abortion? You're out of your mind. I like the court filings today from Mueller on Paul Manafort. We're finding out that Paul Manafort had KGB working in his office. Known KGB. He knew the guy was KGB. It's fucking crazy. You could say whatever you want about this situation with Trump. Hey, if you're not thinking that this whole thing sounds just reeks to high heavens, you're out of your mind. It's one thing if you wanted to vote for him because you were looking for change. Well, we got it, and we got a big liar too. Remember, he said he could be the most presidential. That he was going to change. He hasn't. He didn't. All he's done is lied. Now he's firing everybody around him. Something's going down, I'll tell you that. If Trump ends up getting state charges against him, he may end up living his life in jail. Seriously, or fighting it. He's old, It's the truth. You sort of destroyed the GOP. The Republican Party is a fucking mess. I'll tell you something else that's horrendous is the death of a pet. I have several old dogs. I have Ike and Mango. Mango's 18 going on 19. I got Ike, 13 or something. It's old for a lab. Ike had 0 issues until he got to be about 10. Now he has some kind of skin problem. Changed his diet, thinking that's going to help. Last time I was at the vet, she's like, man, I don't know if, you know, it's diet related, you know. I'll try anything, you know. It's just like that sadness is just like overwhelming, you know. Remy's like 5 or 6. She's not that old, thank God. God damn, man. This bird's with me right now. This bird's with me constantly, you know. I had a baby with that bird. Kid. Well, I do have a kid. I didn't have a kid. And then me and Remy hatched that egg, didn't we, Remy? She knows it. I held the egg. You know, that's as much my kid as it is Remy's. I have a pigeon for a child. I love Solar. Solar's awesome. He is. He's a lot like me. He is. He's more like me than any of my other animals that I live with. Solarton. I'll tell you one thing, I'm at Home Depot a lot buying materials, but that's not what kills you with rehabbing a house. It would be labor, but I can do everything. I can do everything. So, you know, hell, I'm old and falling apart. I put on my roof, you know. I did plumbing and welding in the military. You know, you name it, I can do it. It's no shit. So, even if I haven't done it, I can do it. Do I sound overly confident? Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I can pretty much do anything. I stopped working on my cars because I mean, there were times I remember my Chevy Cobalt. I had the brakes off. It wasn't disc brakes, it was drum brakes. I'm talking to my dad on the phone about it. My dad's going, Peter, you dumb fuck. You know, like that. I had them on, or I had them off, and then I was having trouble getting them back on. I don't want to work on my car unless I have to. I'm telling you, this Liquid Nails is a fucking awesome product. It is. It's great. The water-based stuff, it's good. I'm doing this, and some lady, you know, that works here looks at me like I'm a fucking retard, you know? You've never seen anybody make a video, you know? Where's that stuff? I need that. Where is that stuff? It's like, I think it's Perma Patch is what I bought last time. It's like a concrete patch. I think this is it. I think this is it. Hope I'm getting the same shit. Oh, I got glasses with me. I can check. No, that is not it, but this looks like a pretty good product. It says you can use it on wood. It's not cheap, that's for sure. Shit, where's that concrete patch? Oh, I found it. All right, but they only have the big kind, and I don't need that much. So, I guess I'll do that later. It's an awesome product. Concrete and mortar repair. It's a DAP product. Yeah, they don't have a small one. I'm not buying a big bucket. Now I need white silicone. I'm having trouble making the decisions. This thing about Susan and the brain tumors kind of got me in a funk. Just trying to stay busy. Okay, I'm trying this product, Extreme Stretch, just to see how it works. It's about the same price as silicone. It's water cleanup though. See how it works. I just saw Mommy, but it sort of diverted my eyes because I'm not really heavily checking out women anymore. I've stopped doing that. I'll give them a glance, you know, make a little eye contact, but not a lot. I got it under control. Some people have figured out how tolerant I am of other human beings. I was about to tell this guy, step off, motherfucker. You know, you're invading my space, asshole. Jesus Christ. What, do you want me to hold your hand? Get the fuck away from me. Seriously, my God. Ugh. What an ugly day. Seriously. Thank God it's spring. I'm having like trouble concentrating and shit. It's no shit. Like, you know, I just bought more wood than I need. I bought more than I thought it was gonna cost. Like, I bought these strips for molding that I thought they were 99 cents because they're real thin. So those were like $7, $8 a piece. You know, it's like almost the same price. It's more to buy less wood. You know, those planks I'm building with are only $4.50, but like, look at this. This shit is 99 cents a foot. I don't know. I'm just, you know, I'm in a foul mood. Hi, Remy, how you doing? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Question everything. I gotta go in Walmart and get some chicken. Life might suck, but the dogs need to eat. It'd really suck if I couldn't afford chicken. Remy, I know what I'd do without her. She's one of my favorite females of all time. Seriously, Remy's awesome. She is. She's smart. Pigeons are smarter than people give them credit for, that's for sure. Tell you one thing that's weird about Remy is that she'll go for raw hamburger. If I'm giving it to the cat or the raven, she tries to steal it. I don't want her eating that kind of stuff, but evidently she's part vampire or something. She likes it. I want her to eat seeds more and stuff like that, but she loves the shit out of bloody meat, don't you? See? It's weird, you know? She started doing that years ago, and then Solar's doing it now. You know, it's one thing if Sam the Raven's gonna eat hamburger, I get it, but a pigeon? You know, if it was like real stinky or something, I would definitely be outraged and not let her do it, and I don't let her do it anyway. She steals it and stuff. It's a problem. She's addicted to hamburger. I need food for myself. I don't even feel like fucking eating, you know? I don't. I gotta get something though, because I'll probably feel like eating later. Ugh. I'm not going through anything that anybody else doesn't go through. Do you know what I'm saying? Everybody deals with this shit. It's like we're stuck on this planet, you know? We all go through the same shit. All of us. Except Trump or other narcissists. They don't care. Everything's great to them. Those personality disorders, you know, many times they just make the person feel good, so they don't have any plans of changing anything about their life, because no matter what they do, they're so great. Lumpy, bumpy oranges again, they're pretty awesome. Gold. Oranges, I could eat a bag of these in a day. Seriously, love oranges. It's my favorite fruit. If I lived in a warmer climate, I'd have orange trees, but I don't, so I have pawpaw trees. I feel like shit. I think I'm gonna get a New York strip steak, right? I'll eat this. It'll make me feel better. Great, they're out of chicken leg quarters in a bag, so buy the more expensive ones. I got some at home too. It'll be alright. Walmart's bullshit. It is, it's bullshit. Not once have I ever seen one of those smoking hot Mennonite broads in here. They're hot. Not really. The outfit throws me off. They wear the outfit and then they wear like designer shoes or have like a Coach bag. You know? Like you have to wear the clothes, but then you can have a Coach purse. Or you can wear Nikes. I don't get it. It seems hypocritical. You know what I want is I want shrimp. I want shrimp in a salad. So I'm going to buy a bag of this cooked shrimp, which is not too terribly expensive. It's peeled, deveined. $6. This seems like a good price. It's shrimp, man. It's cooked and peeled. I don't even have to peel it. That's the way I like it. You know? The first time I ever had, this is true because, you know, my parents would take me to a restaurant when we were kids that the shrimp was always peeled, right? You get shrimp cocktail, it's peeled. It wasn't until I was 18 and in the Navy and in Philadelphia that I had shrimp. They brought it to me, I started eating it and I had the peel on it. However, I ate it anyway. And from that point on, when I get shrimp that isn't peeled, I eat the peel. I like it. It's good. Getting mashed potatoes and gravy, and I'll eat some of it, and then I'll let Remy have the rest. She loves mashed potatoes and gravy. Hi, could I have an order of mashed potatoes and gravy? Let me try a small. I love Remy. Nothing's too good for her. I'd go to KFC if there was one that was close. You know, she loves KFC. I'm in a really shitty mood. Seriously, I'm gonna get a corn dog, even though I don't like corn dogs. It makes no sense, right? I get one anyway. I'll try it again and make sure I don't like it. Isn't that fucking fun? What a blast. Go home, work with Bowser some more. And Billy the Hedgehog and Tonka. Tonka and Billy the Hedgehog are my two highest drive dogs. Tonka's hyperactive in high drive. He's off the charts. He is. It's a lot of work. I give Remy mashed potatoes every now and then, but I'm not giving her hamburger or ground beef. She just takes it. She knows what I got. She's going for the container right now. Ugh. I'll stop talking about this. But I want to say one more thing about Susan, was that she was retiring from a very good job. She was the head of the graphics department at a very well-known major university in St. Louis, Missouri. She had a real good job. And she said that she was going to retire and move to Florida. She was going down there. She was. Like I called her, I'm in Florida or something. I texted her, she said, I'm in Florida. Right, so I figured, you know, Susan, my dad died, you know, she's gonna retire, go down to there, Florida, and enjoy the warmth and stuff, and then I hear this shit. That's what I'm talking about. You work your whole life, you work your ass off with no free time, and then you want to retire, and then you get sick and die. It's fucked up. And I work every day of my life. I can't take a vacation, you know? It's like I'm stuck, man. I got animals. I don't really want to go. I'm talking about that with Jinian too. She's sort of like me. She's a lot like me, actually. She doesn't go out much. She doesn't travel. I mean, I talk about this like, oh, if I could travel, I would. I doubt I would. You know? Same thing, you know? She does the same shit. It's like, it just sounds like a hassle, you know? Like, to say hypothetically, if I didn't have any animals, I would travel and take a trip. Well, I do have animals, and they're a huge part of my life, so, you know, that's purely fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all fucking fantasy. I couldn't, that would be like, if I was a millionaire, you know, it's not me. So I'm talking about my fantasy trip that I would take if I wasn't me, you know. If I wasn't me, I wouldn't have pets in my house, you know. If I wasn't me, I wouldn't have a pigeon wife and a pigeon child. You know, like I can't help but like wonder like what's the point of life? You know, it's constant. Then I hear people talking about gun control and stuff, and they want to take away people's guns, you know, and guns are one of the main ways that people commit suicide. It's true. Most gun by death are suicide. They're not people shooting other people. That's a statistical fact. And then people want to take that away, you know. I'm not suicidal. I'm just saying I can understand how somebody gets to that point where they're like, fuck it, you know? Fuck it. Life is tough. Like, look at Robin Williams. Well, Robin Williams had fame. He had money, you know? The one thing about comedians is that comedians are some of the darkest people you'll ever fucking meet. It's the truth. There's nothing more dark than the clown. Robin Williams finds out he has a terminal disease. He's like, screw it, I'm done. You know, I got everything out of life. I'm out of here. You know, if somebody wants to do that, you want to like. I guess I try and talk somebody out of it, of course. You know, because there is always like sort of like mental illness associated, depression and shit. So, and people's perception is different when they're medicated, and that's what life is. It's just about like the perception of your life. It's not. Somebody else might see somebody else's life and go, well, they have a good life. Why would they do something like that? Well, you know, you're not walking in their shoes. You don't know what's going on in their head, you know. How uplifting has this video been? Pretty uplifting, right? Look at Remy, though. All right. I'm done, I guess. Thanks for listening. You know, seriously, I just had to talk.